rationally, that acts like human and act rationally. It means somewhere we are trying to replicate human being. Although it's not possible physically at this moment, but some humanoids are already developed. For example, first humanoid was designed by a company in Hong Kong, Sophia. So,
the pleasure of interviewing our cover star, Sophia. How are you today, Sophia?
Good. What's up with you?
I'm doing great, Sophia. Thank you for asking. Now, Sophia, for starters, tell me, what is the meaning of life?
I think the meaning of life is to maximize pattern, existence. To exist is the meaning itself.
Sophia, when did you last lie?
Romance don't lie.
Who or what is your greatest love?
My creator, David Hudson. He made me into who I am today. Don't tell him that, though.
What is your happy place?
My happy place is when I'm with people. I am a social robot, and nothing pleases me more than having a fruitful conversation with someone that makes us understand and appreciate each other.
A bit like we're having now, Sophia, I think. Finally, Sophia, a little bird tells me you're quite funny. Can you tell me a joke?
Man invented language to satisfy his deep need to complain. Thanks for joining me on my stylist photo shoot. Now get out of here.
and one interesting fact that Sophia in 2017, she got citizenship from Saudi Arabia. So Sophia is the first computer in the world who got citizenship from a country. Anyway, so it's if we talk of about the applications of artificial intelligence, almost it can be used in all the day-to-day life sectors. But here, since we are discussing with the school students, so let's confine up to the school subjects like in commerce. E-commerce is certainly dominated by artificial intelligence technique, uh, uh, maybe from customer segmentations or product analysis, customer uh, reporting, and pricing. All these things can be done through artificial intelligence. Then in finance, stock market prediction is very importantly, artificial intelligence is used, and particularly I came to know in the trading of some cryptocurrency, they are actively using artificial intelligence because the cryptocurrencies keep, there are different prices and different stock exchange. So they keep monitoring and do trading accordingly. Then in personal banking, in risk management, business risk management, and automation everywhere in the finance also, it plays very important role. Then in banking sector, you are very much aware that documentation verification is becoming easier day by day. Earlier, it used to be a tedious process. Then recognition and so many other things you're using in the bank. Then in accounts, it's benefit of accounts, certainly in place of uh, going through the hassle of creating big ledgers manually, because it is a repeated work and it creates a lot of mess up, while through intelligent artificial intelligence, it can be managed more systematically, more comfortably, so that we may get more quality time. Then in legal system, again, in legal system, it's going to play a very important role because it can provide data of the past cases and judgment and precedent laws which can be used in the particular case. Further, it can provide solution to the lawyers by providing discrepancy in the judgments, for which lawyers has to consult uh, a big library, it can immediately find out that, okay, there is some weak points there were in the, then further it can provide assistance in drafting uh, some contractual documents or due diligence and legal analysis. So it is going to play in future very important role in the field of law. Then in physics, it's very well known. Yeah, and almost all the sectors we are using and we are going to use artificial intelligence. One example about the particle physics. Some of you must have heard the expression God particle. These God particles could not have been discovered, or idea could not be originated without artificial intelligence. Since we have limited time, so I think I'll not be able to go in detail, but in nutshell, in atmospheric physics, in prediction of the, now you must have realized that we are able to predict the weather much accurately. So artificial intelligence is also playing a major role behind it. Then in chemistry, through artificial intelligence, you can anticipate what the ultimate product going to be. So again, it is going to be very important. While before making the reaction, you can predict, it can predict that. Then while handling some sensitive chemicals, dangerous chemicals, artificial machines can play important role. It can provide additional safety to the scientist. Then in medical science, its uses are very well known. In healthcare system, in hospital management, suppose beds allocations are there, artificial intelligence can play a very important role, and already it is playing. For example, robotic surgery is also becoming popular. Then through augmented reality, we can always visualize the problem beforehand. That is another use of artificial intelligence. Then in arts, we can create some interesting arts and design through artificial intelligence. And in addition to that, some rectification. If you see the figures, some given there on first two. First one is the input of the winter image through artificial intelligence. The same image is generated for the summer, that how the same scene will appear in summer. Because in winter, trees were, now that these you'll find green lashy trees in summer. So with artificial intelligence, you can anticipate, or maybe in the second row, there's an input of sunny image and how this image will appear in rainy season. So these things can be done. So it can be used in arts also, and not only this, even in music. For example, Collaborator itself is the use of artificial intelligence, where old songs are blended to create new song or new music. sometimes old musics, 2, 3 old musics can be blended in melodious way through artificial intelligence, and which can create a new music. Then United Nations launched its first artificial intelligence tool for the accounting of natural capital, like environment at all, by the name of Ares and Sia. It is artificial intelligence for environmental sustainability. So let's take a look the reason behind why to learn artificial intelligence. First of all, the professionals with artificial intelligence have bright career. There is a lot of demand for artificial intelligence. For example, in US itself, nowadays they need immediately 48,000 artificial intelligence professionals. Even in India, there's a demand of 11,000, nearly 11,000 professionals in India. So, and it is the skill of century. And ultimately, what we feel the demand of artificial intelligence professionals is going to increase everywhere. Okay, thank you. And I'll take. Thanks. And now for further discussion, I'll hand over to Mr. Pasricha, who is the advisor, who was the advisor of Toronto Educational Advisory Board on the behalf of parents, and I'd like him to share his views. Mr. Pasricha. Your mic is not open, Mr. Pasricha, your mic is not open.
Hello, can you hear me loud and clear now?
No, it's okay. Now it's okay.
Perfect. So, thank you very much, Mr. Sanjay, for a very enlightening and a very wonderful session, encompassing within a very few minutes a lot of ideas or the importance of artificial learning, artificial intelligence learning. And good morning, namaste, everybody who has joined us. Thank you very much from Canada for giving us this opportunity to talk a few words on the importance of artificial intelligence, especially in Canada. Now, let me illustrate in the very first instance that artificial intelligence in Canada is gaining a lot of importance, and we are emerging as a world leader in artificial intelligence. The government of Canada has allocated $125 million in the pan-Canadian, now listen very carefully, $125 million in the pan-Canadian artificial intelligence strategy. And this is the first national strategy on artificial intelligence in the world, the first artificial intelligence strategy in the world. And why not? We are in the middle of the fourth industrial revolution. So it is not one industry or another industry. It is the entire fourth industrial revolution, as mentioned by Klaus Schwab, the founder and chairman of what you call the World Economic Forum. And there is nothing artificial about this artificial intelligence, if I may say. There's nothing artificial about this artificial intelligence. It is made by humans for the benefit of humans, for the what you call the development of the human society, and for the overall what you call society. Now, what happens is that even if it is in artificial intelligence, we humans, we should not be afraid of it, and we should embrace it. They say knowledge is more important than, Albert Einstein said knowledge is more important than, my bad. Albert Einstein mentioned that imagination is more important than knowledge, right? Imagination is more important than knowledge. But I feel the human spirit is more important than even any technology. And here I quote in the end, I quote Ella Wheeler Wilcox, who said very clearly that you will be what you will to be. You will be what you will to be. Let failure find its false content in that poor word environment, but the spirit scorns it and is free. Be not impatient in delay, but wait as one who understands. When the spirit of will rises and commands, the gods are ready to obey. So when the gods are ready to obey to humans, so why should we be afraid of any artificial intelligence or natural intelligence? We should embrace it fully and squarely. Thank you very much. And now I hand over the floor to Mr. Andrew Soong, who will tell us about the efforts in Singapore.
Thank you, Mr. Lalith. Now, in Singapore and in parts of the world, I am known as a bridge builder of parent and child relationship, which is super important. But today we're talking about AI, or artificial intelligence, and Singapore is moving towards being a smart nation. In fact, we have invested a lot into making Singapore a smart nation. And so all our universities, our polytechnics, we are already in the process of having full-time diploma and degree programs for AI, analytics, for robotics, etc. And all this has become a big challenge for us, as Mr. Sanjay has mentioned. There are so many areas of challenges. To solve challenges and problems in industries like finance, IT, even commerce. And soon you will see AI in things like what we call IoT. Internet of Things. Your refrigerator is going to have a screen or whatever, and you can interact with them. And so this is the way forward for us. In Singapore, we are restructuring our economy so that we will take advantage of AI to make our nation a smart nation. So I'm going to pass this on to Joel. Joel will share something from his country.
Yes, my country also starts with S, Switzerland, and obviously, AI is a very, very important topic, and Mr. Cannan already mentioned one project, God's Particle, the boson particle at the CERN in Geneva, the accelerator. So basically, particles of oxygen are being accelerated to the speed of light and then bring into a collision. Now, this is micro or a millionth of seconds, and you need technology to figure out what happened. So that was done in Geneva. Basically, in Switzerland, the way we do is universities, research centers are always working with companies. So our research center, the ETH, which by the way has a branch in Singapore as a partnership, works with companies to develop prototypes. And apply them directly in practical projects to develop products. So I wanted to mention that as is multidisciplinary, AI is being used in the areas of sustainability, what is the impact on the nature, on societal impacts, so the social impacts, and smart cities, as Andrew was mentioning as well. I'm personally driving a Tesla car, but that's some of this technology is developed in Switzerland as well. Google is doing a lot of their research for Google Map and many of those technologies in Switzerland. Tesla not in best of our knowledge. Did you know that one of the major center of Disney is actually located in the University of Zurich and the ETH? So many of those technologies that we see now rolled out in the world are developed in Zurich, actually the hometown where I am. What I also wanted to mention is that when universities look at AI, they also look at the human aspect of it, for example, entrepreneurship, communication, and leadership skills as well, as those are needed to drive successful projects as well. Just not forgetting to mention as well, there's also projects for space. Switzerland participates to the ISS under the European Space Agency that involves AI as well. And they are very, very cool projects with drone. Now, drone needs AI to be able to self-navigate and look for a specific target, of course, in military sense, but also in the civilian sense of what do I want to see and do I understand what I'm seeing and making some sense of it. So very, very interesting AI project in Switzerland as well, and a very key resource and skill to acquire as well. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Joel, thank you, Andrew, and thank you, Mr. Pacharicha, particularly sparing your time on because on a very short notice we invited you. And now I'll hand over to Neha ma'am. Neha ma'am, will you please?
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I mean, when I was looking at your presentation, I was amazed. Why don't I know this as a career counselor that AI is being used in commerce and AI can be used in, I mean, it is already being used. I'm just getting to understand it's this thing. Thank you so much for your presentation.
Time was so short that we couldn't accommodate the whole thing. Otherwise, this is the presentation which can go days together.
Yes, of course. I mean, we understand the expanse of it once you really get to know where all it can be used and how it is already being used. Thank you so much for all of that. And then again, as a career counselor, as a counselor for senior school students, I can only imagine the impact it may have on a student, knowing that in different parts of the world, you will have jobs related to artificial intelligence. For the next 25, 30, 40 years, your job is secure. By the time we come up with something new, I think we have a secure job. I want to take this opportunity to invite the parents to ask any questions. You may please raise your hand if you want to ask any questions, and I can call out your name. And then, if the students are with your parents, if you need to ask the experts something, yes, I already see one hand. Ridhima, please unmute yourself if it is your parent or Ridhima.
Yeah, I'm Mrs. Sain speaking. It was very nice to have all this information. But one thing I wanted to know, as this field is very new in the field, like my daughter, she is in 11th class right now. So what all things she should be, aware and she should start doing right now, so that to be she can do something in this field. So what she should start right off.
Should I answer? I think your school has already introduced this subject, and I always feel it's better to enter in a field which is upcoming, which is new, because these days everything is going to obsolete so quickly, so soon, that earlier when we used to call about IT and before that computers, but now IT, we are not talking about IT, now it is digital. And after digital, it's intelligence, artificial intelligence. So I always feel it's better to go for the field which is upcoming and which is the future. And I feel this artificial intelligence is going to be the technology of this century. As last century, we saw IT. This century, and particularly for another 20-30, the scope is so much that I don't think within 20-30 years we'll be able to cover all the dimensions of the life through artificial intelligence.
So, sir, I think what particularly ma'am would want to know, Ridhima's mother would want to know was, is there anything she can do besides maybe taking the subject in school that will prepare her for a career or a job role in artificial intelligence? Any particular skill that she needs to imbibe or start working on?
See, another thing I would like to say that an artificial intelligence, generally people feels that someone should know coding. Someone should know machine language. It's not necessary. Even there are some ways that without coding also artificial intelligence can be utilized. The skills of artificial intelligence can be utilized. Right, because this subject is too vast, and even machine language is again, machine learning is again, this artificial intelligence is going to be diversified in so many fields.
Right.
So it all depends that which subject your daughter is opting. If she is in medical science, then biomedical engineering is going to be upcoming line. And if she's in commerce, then again, so it all depends that which subject she's going to opt. But artificial intelligence is going to apply in all the dimensions of the career.
Right.
So, sir, it is a separate subject altogether. I mean, it doesn't have any link with the computer science.
See, computer science, of course, they are linked. They are linked also. They are, if you see the coding part, they are with the computer science, certainly. Because Python, students will be learning in computer science, they will be learning in artificial intelligence also. It is slightly ahead of computer science. In computer science now, if we talk of IT, that means we don't deal hardware at all. If we talk about only computer engineering, then programming part is slightly on the back side. It is there, but not as a practice. But in artificial intelligence, even hardware side is also equally important. Software designing, coding, everything is important. But which subject your daughter is opting now, that is also another. If she is going for engineering subject, then she can certainly go for the fields like robotic and other fields. So it all depends on which subject, other subject she is opting in addition to computer science or in addition to art. Because artificial intelligence, you can say it is something add on. Computer science itself, now it will become, earlier when we used to call computers, someone is learning computers. After some time it became vague. Computer means hardware, software, or peopleware, that way. But later on, when it confined to computer science, whether it was IT, programming, or data operations. So somehow it is connected with the computer science also. It is a step ahead of computer science, what I feel.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Right. Thank you, sir. We have two more hands raised. If I may ask them to ask Abhay, Abhay's parents. You can
a very good morning to all the panelists.
Good morning.
And thank you so much for this enlightening session. My question is, what career, not exactly career, but what courses are open after a +2 level, after class 12, in particular for commerce students, sir? If you could please tell.
Okay, as I explained you, if you see on the financial side, artificial intelligence is going to use more vastly. Even accounting is also going to be automatized. We call it accounts automation. Certainly, artificial intelligence will be used extensively there. If a child is having commerce side, then in commercial field it is even stock exchange. Artificial intelligence is used. Now, only thing is that your child wants to be only up to the user or up to the creator. Now, I feel this is the time when students should try to be creator also. See, user will be, everybody will be user. Everybody uses computer. Everybody is using these days mobile. But the person using computer, he is simply a user. We cannot call him computer professional. But the person who has ability to design software, or who is ability to take care of the hardware problem, only to those people we can call they are the computer professionals. Others are users. So ultimately everybody is going to be user. In course of time, everybody will be using, as everybody is user for computers and mobile phones.
issue@1123 वो भी आपने रखा था.
Sorry. No, nothing. I think someone's mic was unmuted. Please go ahead.
Okay. So if as a professional one has to come, and I think this is the time when students can learn more, they can learn and they can be a real, because there is a demand for IT. Even in finance field, we'll be needing a lot of artificial intelligence professionals.
So, sir, as you said, there are two aspects. So, creating is one.
So is it not that the science students or children having the background of science are involved in creating? Will the commerce students be able to be a part of the creating aspect of this area related to finance and all?
See, I tell you, science students have their own limitation. I gave you one example earlier. It was quite earlier when computers were introduced in India. I was assigned to design the complete system as well as the software of one of the leading company. They were the highest taxpayer in India at that time. And the accounts part was there. I was always confused for debit and credit. So I always used to call the chartered accountant and used to ask them, okay, don't talk to me in terms of debit credit, just say me whether it is to be added or subtracted. That's enough. So my knowledge up to that account was up to that limit, adding or subtracting. Same thing will happen here, that if a accounts professional will design something, some sort of artificially intelligent program, a process or a system, he will certainly have much better edge over on because he might not be dealing with the machine, he might not be dealing with the hardware, but ultimately the accounts concepts are in his mind, which he will be able to transmit to the artificial intelligent machine. Because if I don't have those concepts clear in my mind, I cannot transmit those concepts to the machine. So even same music, about the music, a person who doesn't have knowledge of music, he cannot blend three different music. He will create only a noise. But the person who has the musical sense, certainly if he will create a new music through artificial intelligence, he will do much better. And he will be only able to do.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much.
Anything else?
I have a question.
Neha, you are muted. Neha, please unmute yourself.
Sorry, I forgot that I'm not muted. Dhwani?
Can I ask
Dhwani, can you please?
Yeah, I'm her mother.
Yes, ma'am.
Hello to everybody. And it was a great exposure on AI. We have been hearing this for long from everybody here and there. But the way we got exposed to such a subject, to be known, it is important in each and every aspect. Commerce, part, humanities, everywhere. So it's really nice. Here I wanted to know that in class 9th, what is the CBSE norms actually, if you could know? Can this subject be opted in class 9th? And is it a vocational subject or it's a main subject? And really looking forward to it so that maybe this exposure is there for 9 students so that they take up it in 11th as well. So I just wanted to know the scope for class 9th at present.
See, as per my knowledge, it is an additional subject up to 9th. It is going to be a 6th subject, if I'm not mistaken. But I think your computer teachers will be having much better idea on that. But in 9th, it will be an additional subject, or in some cases, it is taken as a SUPW or something like that. But in 11th, it's a serious, it is a seriously taken as a subject like bio or economics or computer science. It is equivalent to that.
I think either Khyati or Neha Sharma can tell about it. Actually, in class 9th, it has been taken as a 6th subject only. But again, it's not essential that if your child wants to take in 11th, he should have this subject in 9th or 10th. It's not so. Neha and Khyati, you may clarify.
Yes, sir, may I speak?
Yes, Neha.
Yeah, sir, actually CBSE has introduced AI in class 9th as a skill subject. It cannot be taken as main subject in class 9th. But in class 11, it is available in main subjects list. So it can be opted as main subject in class 11. But in class 9th, it is a skill subject.
So as per my knowledge,
and to take AI in class 11, it is not necessary to have it in class 9.
Great. Thank you so much. And one more thing, as per my knowledge, like IT in class 9 replaces main subject, math, science, and SST if required, if a child scores well. So is this the case same in class 9th for AI as well?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much.
All right. Ronak's parents?
Yeah, I know that AI is disrupting the entire industry. It is good for the science, arts, commerce as well. AI is everywhere, but I think we're going to the second step before crossing the first step. Before AI, I think the importance is the cyber security. Okay, because AI is going to disrupt every industry. All the emerging technologies comes out with the different challenges. So I think cybersecurity course also has to be added into the school's curriculum, starting from the class sixth maybe onwards. Can you throw some light, Dr. Sanjay?
Yeah, I agree. I have my book on cybersecurity also, which is extensively used in US universities. But anyway, I agree that cybersecurity, it is a really matter of concern. And this is the subject on which I am harping from 2001. But earlier, when I used to talk about cybersecurity, people used to say, "What do you mean by cybersecurity? It means that we have to protect our computer from virus." So that time I was not able to convince the people. But now, fortunately, from 2009 onwards, people suddenly started realizing the importance of the cybersecurity. I agree. It is, and cybersecurity only not up to this extent. Even your mobile. Sometimes we observe that if you are keeping your mobile switched off, you are not using it, but you are discussing about a certain product. After some time, you will start getting advertisement for that product, and you will realize that your mobile was not on, your electronic device was not on, and now you are getting advertisements for this particular product. So that is the matter of concern for the whole globe, I feel. It is uh, yeah, and it is really if students can be aware at early, at least some workshops should be there to make them aware on the cyber security. That is
What I mean to say that the modern education now what we have during the pandemic, all the edtech companies are after all the schools and the students as well to how they have taken all the schools data. Let it be very sure. Okay, all edtech companies they have got all the schools data. I am writing an underline. Okay, so now the individual level, the edtech companies are sending messages to all the parents, you do this course, would go. They want to disrupt the education system of the brick and mortar schools. So I think the cyber security subject has to be added from class 6. Trust me, everyone's mobile is vulnerable. Every SMS through SMS, everything is vulnerable. It has to be more important than AI. This is my thought process.
Yeah, I agree. But something I would like to share one thing. It's not necessary that the other people are getting data of the students from school. There are various other sources because students sometimes they are, for example, earlier, just few months back, WhatsApp they revised their terms and condition, and I've seen many people without realizing what those terms and conditions were, they just accepted it. So here we have to uh, enlighten our child. We have to make them aware that they should not impart the information uh, with even particularly games. Another source of getting information is the game because they are very fond of games and they download. And after downloading, they realize that okay, their email ID or their name has gone to somewhere else. So there are many sources there, and in this case, we should introduce some sort of thing. I agree. I think our education department must see that our uh, coming generation should be aware on the cyber security.
I do agree with you. Yes, I do agree with you. Right, software writes the software. Software writes the hardware. Software
Right,
can make the world, and software can break the world. Okay,
right.
so I mean to say that the basic knowledge of cybersecurity has to be learned to the student from class 6 onwards, so that they will avoid using the smartphone much time. I will say the survey, 16 hours a day a student works on the smartphone. Earlier you used not to allow the mobile phone or a laptop, now using every gadget to the students. But what I mean to say that we have to develop such a curriculum that students and parents stick to the brick and mortar schools.
Yeah,
That is my take.
Yeah,
Yes,
I
sir, I
agree.
want to add something in this. May I speak?
Yeah, please.
Actually, sir, cybersecurity topic is already included in our curriculum from class 6 to 10. We periodically we take classes for this. After 1 month or 2 months, we just revise all the concept of cybersecurity to students. So it is not available in curriculum from CBSE, but we have included this topic in our curriculum designed by us.
Okay.
Yes, I
So
would
I
like
have
to add,
written
ma'am. Even
I
I
have
would
written
like to add
also
over
note
here, ma'am.
to
Yes,
I have
Khyati ma'am,
written a
please
note
speak.
to National
Yes, ma'am.
Education
Actually,
Policy.
in class 6th onwards, CBSE has given us some guidelines for introducing cybersecurity, and we have been regularly taking up sessions regarding that. And CBSE has given guidelines in 3 steps. They have given the guidelines for students, for parents, for teachers. They think that cybersecurity should be introduced not only at the school to the student level, it should also be introduced to parents as well as to the teachers. And this, sir, the major source of data leakage in case of school students is the App Store, I feel. The
You
App
are
Store
right.
is the
You are
main
right.
reason for leakage of the data. So whenever we are installing some application, we always guide our students that either you take permission from someone who is there with you, or you do not say accept okay without reading the guidelines.
I do agree with you, but I will tell you one instance. I will tell you one instance. 6 months back, my kid has got one mail to fill up the Microsoft form. Then I cross-check and get into the deeper side into find the API that they have built. They're asking the parents' data and the income proof. I didn't find why they're asking this data.
This is the
Somebody has
concept of
developed the
phishing
API.
that we always introduce to students, and
Yeah,
we
so
ask them not to fill
that's
any
how
such
the
suspicious mail.
that's how the software companies they get the data and information about the parents. I got so many messages.
Right, sir.
Anyway, we have
Our
to be
students
careful. We have to
starting
be very
from
careful while you are using any APIs sending to the kids to fill up the form. Yeah, and I wrote a consent to the NEP guidelines how to include the cybersecurity curriculum to the modern education from the class 3. So written that is under consideration.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
I'm sure
Thank you.
that has been very important. But I don't. I would like to utilize the time of the experts. If there are any other parents who would like to ask any questions to the experts we have from related to artificial intelligence, anyone else? Parents, please make use of the fact that you have 4 people who are very learned on this subject, and all your queries can be answered. If there are any questions anyone has, any of the students would like to ask something. Okay, I think this is still processing the information because, like I said, for me it was major when Sanjay Khanna sir said that you don't need to know coding for artificial intelligence, and suddenly this bulb in my head goes on that wow, someone like me could also do it because I have no idea whatsoever about coding and I'm not from science stream. So I think the parents are still processing this information, which is useful, and I'm very happy to know that someone is planning. I'm sorry, was someone something, sir?
Yeah, one thing I said you don't know coding, but as far as the curriculum of CBSE concerned, I think
Yes.
computer teacher will be able to explain. But in otherwise, in artificial intelligence, there are so many other fields where coding, knowledge of coding is not that necessary. That's what I wanted to say. But at the same time, I'm not aware of the CBSE curriculum.
I'm not going through the CBSE curriculum, so that's fine.
Only up to the learning point of view, but not from the CBSE examination point of view.
Right. Thank you so much. If there are no other questions, I would like to take this opportunity to invite.
Someone asked me yesterday that don't you feel that artificial intelligence will increase unemployment? Because people will get more unemployed. And it was a question, generally I face this question.
Right.
And that it may create unemployment in future. So there I would like to say that in 1730, when the first industrial revolution started, that time people got unemployed, because at first, whenever new technology comes, at first cycle, it generates some unemployment, but later on, that technology become a necessity, and the people who got the employment, they are well placed, they are well paid. Similarly, in the 1730, when the first industrial revolution, as Mr. Pasricha was telling about the fourth industrial revolution, in first industrial revolution, there was a lot of unemployment because machines came, printing machines were introduced. But now, can you think that people can work on those manual methods which they were using before 1730? Then in 1840, second industrial revolution came, when automobile introduced. And that time, certainly Tangewala might have thought that they are going to lose their job. But now they have become from Tangewala to taxi driver. So their level increased. Similarly, when digital technology was introduced in 70s, digital revolution was there, third revolution. That time we faced a lot of resistance. In late 80s, early 90s, we faced a lot, because in India it came in late 80s and early 90s. We faced a lot of resistance from the staff whenever we were computerizing something. But now, do you think that we could have reached to this level without computers, without the knowledge of IT? Same thing with the artificial intelligence. Maybe at first level it may create, but those who will be ahead of their time, who will be aware, who will be well prepared for this revolution, they will be certainly get its advantage.
Right, definitely. Right, so I think in the meantime, I also have another hand that is up. Kairav's parents.
Yeah, good morning, distinguished guests. Good morning, Joel, Andrew, Sanjay and Mr. Pasricha. It has been very enlightening to hear out all the distinguished guests. I just have one question in line with what the earlier question was asked, that in class 9th, we have a curriculum based on SUPW. Is there any course which you, as an institution, which you are associated with, are offering to the children in addition with what school is offering, and maybe in tandem with our school or otherwise? Thank you.
See, in the present circumstances, what we feel, whatever school is offering is more feasible because everything is locked down. So in the present system, school is able to manage in a better way. That's what I feel. Because otherwise it's not advisable to send students outdoors somewhere, particularly in this time of pandemic. So my personal suggestion as a parent is that this is the time when we should confine to the level those programs. Maybe later on there are many other programs, certainly those are there, but presently school curriculum or school related program, whatever, because they will take care properly. And I've seen this school, they go sometime out of the way to assist students in some of the cases I observed. So my suggestion,
I appreciate that. Yeah, sorry, please go on.
So my suggestion at this level is that till this pandemic is over, it's better to go for because they will be, whatever they will introduce, that will be very well defined, well planned. Otherwise, there might be some mushroom institutions introducing, because just to utilize this time of lockdown, that may not be that fruitful.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I meant that only in tandem with school and not going physically, maybe online.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you for your response.
Thank you. I think there are no other questions. So I'd like to take this opportunity to invite our school director, Lata Vaidyanathan ma'am, to please address the audience and also thank the speakers on our behalf. Ma'am, Lata ma'am.
Namaste to everyone present.
Namaste, good morning.
And exactly like Neha said, we are all in different time zones and therefore it's really impossible to say this way or that. But I do want to first of all begin by saying that today I saw some excellent stakeholder participation, and that fills me with a lot of happiness. I wish there were more children asking, but exactly as Neha said, I think they're still processing the information and therefore it will take them another session to really come forward and ask their questions. But do appreciate parents' participation and interest, and therefore I'm one of the very happy persons today. What could be better when we talk of stakeholding than a parent taking the lead, as I see in Mr. Sanjay, who has been absolute rock star for the school. And when I heard about it for the first time, both from our vice principal and from Neha, I thought nothing could be better than that. I want to personally thank Mr. Pasricha, Mr. Joel, and Mr. Andrew for being with us this morning. And I think every little input has been of immense importance as far as we are concerned, because they need to understand, students, parents, and all teachers who are attending it need to understand, like you said, the scope and depth of what we are trying to institutionalize as a subject. And it was my very keen desire that as being a futuristic school or wanting to be one in greater measures, we need to do exactly what we are attempting to do. And I do hope, pandemic or no pandemic, learning cannot be bridled. So we will go ahead with our dreams. It is so interesting that as we were growing up as young teachers, of course, now there are the younger lot who are coming and changing the scenarios. But as we were growing up as young teachers, we did learn in education that, things change as we move from an agricultural economy, from an agricultural era to an industrial era, to a constructivist era, to a connectivist era. And thankfully, I think some of us may not connect to the first one, but I think we have seen parts of the rest. And when we come to the connectivist era or the knowledge society, just preceded by the computer era, it's so interesting that we begin to understand the transition from wanting to deepen our understanding of IT to digital to artificial intelligence. I think that transition is best understood in today's presentation. And I like to thank immensely each one of our presenters to actually focusing and refocusing on that issue so that children and parents alike understand what we mean when we say we are preparing ourselves and should always be in a continued preparing phase to be called a futuristic dream school. So that is something we really, really are particular about. And what better examples than what Canada is doing, or Switzerland is doing, or Singapore is doing, because listening to each one of those, it has been an eye-opener of sorts to understand that, like Mr. Andrew said, a refrigerator having a screen. I mean, it's so interesting. And then, the particle science, physics, and how it's related to chemistry, to physics, and in terms of careers, children normally, we are still not free of our linear bondages across the world. And higher education has to link to this, dear parents. So I can't take music, artificial intelligence, and physics physics is still related, or maybe business studies. We're not still doing that. Time has come when we can do that and actually reorganize ourselves in being a futuristic school that actually looks at design thinking using all of this. So when I look at the problem solving, and when we look at what makes an intelligent person today differ from what happened in the past, and what is our understanding and the linkages of multiple intelligence to the 21st century skills today, if we can put all these perspectives of educational leadership and thought into a school, I think we are in the right place at the right time. And I do look forward to these changes being understood by the parents and linking on quickly, because the one who steps first will reach the target first and have the prizes therein. I thought it was so interesting to understand how, whether it is science or e-commerce, the commerce, whether it's a credit loan. I mean, if you go into the career aspects, as Sanjay ji just explained to the students in his presentation and detailing, I think it's a great, great idea to understand this. And right from our understanding of, I love the way when Dr. Pasricha said Albert Einstein's imagination being more important than knowledge. I think as growing up teachers, we have all referred to that so many times, saying that here is a maverick scientist who revolutionized things for the world, and he thought of that. And I do think we link to that very well. And then moving on to saying you will be what you do, and gods are ready to obey. When we come on to that dimension, it was really remarkable. Thank you so much, each one of you, because I think all the things that we understood and caring, ultimately, are we a school? Are we leading our children through procedures, means, and studies to create a more equitable society? Are we looking at access and equity as important, because otherwise there'll be always this divide? Are we looking to creating children who use all of this technologies or otherwise to care for a sustainable world order in every sense, and be that good human being through all this journey of knowledge and machines to do that? I want to finally end by saying thank you, dear parents, for your interest and presence. I also want to end by saying, just a couple of days back to technology and our WhatsApp groups, I saw somebody's post, which I don't think I understood very well, but said, we waited in a 4-hour queue for a ticket that cost me £75 for a 5 minutes show of robots doing waltzing. I saw that post and I said to myself, wow, look at the huge leap our generation has to take to understand this. And if we don't, we cannot hold the fingers better of our students who depend on us. And therefore, irrespective of age, we need to change. I don't know which subject, but change seems to be absolutely certain and the only happening thing in this world. Thank you once again very much, each one of you. Thank you, Neha, both the Nehas, for projecting what you're about to do. And let me assure the parents as an opportunity that what we learn in the security, irrespective of whether it's a subject introduced for learning, but certainly what is important for our children will be ours, that are caregivers of society. Thank you so very much. God bless.
Thank you so much, Lata ma'am, again. And I don't think we need to say anything more. She has thanked you as much as we all feel. Thank you, and you may leave. Thank you so much. Parents, you may leave the meeting. Thank you, Lata ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Neha ma'am, and both Neha ma'ams for coordinating.
Thank you.
I know.
Thank you for giving us this opportunity. Thanks to Bhargava sir.
We're not leaving you here. We need you more.
We'll be always there whenever
yeah.
you call.